a tour of the website. I had a guided tour on my own a couple of weeks ago, roughly, and then was subsequently allowed in on my own to tour around and test some of the features, use some of the features, and just get a general feeling for the website and its utility to meet our needs as a collaboration team. So I'm not going to poison your minds by making any comments at this stage, but the purpose of this primary purpose of this meeting is so that you can have a tour of the website, and in due course, I think you too will be given access to then tour around on your own. And we are looking for comments and suggestions about the website, things you like, things you don't like, things you think should be added or maybe even taken away. But this is an opportunity to see what's at the website and subsequently look at it yourself and provide feedback so that we get the website that's really going to serve us as a collaboration team. We have a few other items of business after the briefing by Billy, so please stay on the line for a quick discussion of 2 or 3 things. We'll try to finish at 2 p.m. Eastern Time or very soon thereafter. So without further ado from me, I'll hand over to Billy.
Thank you, Martin. This is again Billy Belcher from WebTech in Chicago, and we've been helping the IRPX Secretariat and staff brainstorm and develop a website to support the work of the collaboration teams. Some of you we might have spoken to or met in person to gather initial ideas for the website. And it is exciting that this website is now being rolled out team by team for gathering feedback from pilot testing. And since the CI team has always been one of the most active, productive teams who has expressed interest in the website, they're one of the first teams to get access. Very short after the end of this call, all of you will be getting an email with your username and password and the link of your website to sign in. I'll start with a little overview. You can give us feedback, of course, over the next several weeks, and you can give us feedback today and ask questions on the call. We want this to be an interactive discussion, so if you have a question, speak up at any time. And if you don't have a question or you're listening and may happen to be in a noisy environment, feel free to mute your phone or computer so that call is a little clearer.
Billy, it's Martin. Could I just break in? You're fading in and out. It may be the telephone line, or perhaps you're moving your face away from your microphone. I don't know if other people are getting the same fading in and out, but
it might be me. I'll try to adjust the microphone. Thank you for noting that. Okay, so we'll go to the website. It has 2 parts of the same coin. The public website is intended for a broader audience that introduces who is IRPIC, who are the collaboration teams, for the agencies and state and academic partners that participate in it. But at this point, it is mostly a general overview. There will be a lot more content being developed, and parts of the interesting developments from the member site, where we'll spend most of today's presentation, will be surfaced as interesting news and developments to the public side. Right now, the main content is an interactive copy of the 5-year plan, as well as a generic introduction to all the teams that developed as a result of the plan. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And like I said, the CIC team will be receiving an email with your username and password today. If you don't get such an email, perhaps we have the wrong email address for you, an outdated one. You can let Martin or Sarah Bowden or Sandy Starkweather that you haven't received the email and you're expecting it, and we will make sure to double check the currency of your contact information. So let me go ahead and log in, and I hope everyone can see my screen clearly. Okay, so as Martin mentioned in the beginning, we have tried to develop a site that serves as an online tool to complement your work as a collaboration team. The main features are the ability to find other members of your team as well as other members of IRPIC. The idea is that most members contribute information about what they're doing in little brief updates. We'll see that. The idea is that all events, such as monthly meetings, are posted on the website. It serves as the most current source of information on the agenda of a meeting, and after the meeting, a repository for the meeting notes and any presentations that we're giving. It serves as a repository for documents that are related to the team's work or related to the broader concept of working on Arctic research and Arctic research policy. And we hope that not only team leaders from our Arctic staff contribute content, but also any member does so. Now let me introduce a few of the structure of the website and how to navigate around it. When I log into the member area, member space as is listed on top here, I see the latest postings on the left side. We have a update from Martin here, posted a couple of days ago. I can click on that update to read it in full. I will see that it's pointing me to a link for the marginalized zone project at the end. Posting links to related resources, websites is a common use idea for this tool. You can share something that you found is useful to your colleagues, or you believe will be useful to your colleagues. So we have a list of such updates listed on the left. Along the middle column, we have the upcoming events, collaboration team meetings, and every meeting will have the call-in number, possibly the agenda, if it's prepared in advance, and a copy of the meeting notes after the fact. There could be other meetings of interest, such as conferences posted here, or workshops, and any member of a team can contribute an event. The website differentiates between several different types of content. I will get into that in a little bit, and those types of content is what is represented on the top level tab on top. So an event is a type of content, self-explanatory. When you look at the calendar of events, you can notify the website that you will attend an event or you plan to attend an event, and it will send you an email reminder before the event with the details of the event. You can also add it to your Google Calendar or your desktop calendar. If you can also see who else plans to attend the event. If people have signed up, you will be listed below the event organizer. And on any item on the website, members can post comments. So if you see the agenda and you would like to say, I think that we should also cover basics of the new website. On the agenda, I can post that comment and everyone will see this. The comment was listed. Another type of content that we heard a lot about are documents. Documents could be a PDF, a Word document, an Excel, any number of documents that are related. We try to make them highly searchable. I'll demonstrate in a little bit all the ways you can search for content on the website. The People and Teams tab is the directory of the website members. I can see a list from search, list of members for the entire IARPIC website or just for a particular team. On the People and Teams tabs, as well as on the home page, you see a section called Your Collaboration Teams, and below that a list of all collaboration teams. For today's purposes only, I have added myself to the CI collaboration team. That's why I listed it here. But most of you, I believe, are already enrolled as members of the team based on the information that Sarah and Sandy provided to us. A team page or a team section has the exact same functions of the entire website, but provides a filter specific to the team, a view specific to the team. For example, the People tab of the entire website will list 300 members. The People tab on the CI team will list 40 or 50 members. The Documents tab for the entire website will end up having a lot of documents. The Documents tab under CI will have only documents identified by the person who posted them as very relevant, very particular to the CI collaboration team. So it's a subset, if you will, of features specific, of content specific to the team. The same is true for upcoming events. You can see all events for the entire website or just the events related to the CI team. I want to take just maybe 30 seconds and see if everything is making sense. If there are any questions at this point, anything unclear, and or just the beginning, I want to give us an opportunity to pause. Okay, I'll continue. As I said, feel free to pause and stop me at any time, and we will have a chance to discuss questions at the end as well. So throughout the website, you will see these boxes, this box here of links inviting you, the members of the website, to post content, whether it's an update or a document or an event or a want and have. I'll cover want and haves in a little bit. Yes, was there a question or comment? Maybe just a noise. So I'd like to show you what that looks like. So I'll go ahead and post an update. So this is some pretend content I'll delete, but maybe I found a interesting video on new CI's prediction model, and I'm making that up. Most content has several pieces of information that we ask for. The title, I think self-explanatory. The topics or keywords. As we collect more and more information on the website, it will be crucial to give each piece one or two descriptive keywords so that it's easy for other members to find it. It's sort of a member-driven organization scheme. So topic here might be sea ice modeling and perhaps videos. I made it up. As you notice, if I started typing in part of a word, the website listed possible topics that already exist that other members have used. That is to help maintain some consistency. I can pick one of the ones that others have used, or I can type in my own, which will be effectively added to the list of topics. Over time, the website administrators have abilities to combine topics, rationalize topics, and so on. But as we get started, this is open-ended structure. Right below that field is an opportunity to make this item very specific to a collaboration team. That could be a bit confusing, as I showed you a minute ago. You can post a piece of content very specific to the CI team, or you might find a resource or have an update that you believe is relevant to the broader membership of the site, not just the CI team. All updates posted anywhere on the site are findable under the Global Top-Level Updates tab, but only those updates and other content that are specifically identified as the CI/CT collaboration team will appear on the CI team page under updates or documents. I think it's easy to confuse the concept of describing the topic or area of a piece of content versus determining if it's specific to a team. Frankly, it's only you, the members of the team, that can determine if something is particular to the team. Perhaps it's related to a milestone you're working on, perhaps related to a workshop that you're organizing. But this area here serves to describe the contents of the item that you're posting. This collaboration team serves to determine if it's going to be shelved or filed under a particular team, one or more teams. One thing I should mention here is that only members of a collaboration team can file content under that team. So I know there is an application team that exists, but I am currently not a member of that team, and I will not be able to select that team from this list. I'm logged in as an administrator, so I see this list, but if I was not an administrator, this would not appear in here. That structure can change in the future based on feedback, but we're starting with this sort of restriction that any member can only post to teams they are members of. The description area is where I can post the actual content. So I'll just make this something you may want to take a look at this video. That I'll just make up something University of Alaska just released. And I can post a link to a video, perhaps that I found on YouTube. I'm going to find something real quick and post a link to it. Okay, this is the first thing that I'm finding. And I'll post it. I'm going to click the video link, insert it. And I can make this posting. Post it for other members to see. tag the federal are still being determined by every team and by ARPIC as a whole. The functionality of the website supports a checkbox that says, make this available only to federal users, and it will determine to only show this post to people affiliated with the federal government. Another option is some piece of content might be related to a milestone, one of the milestones of the 5-year plan. So I can start typing in a number of a milestone, or I can start typing in a title, and it will show me a list here. Again, not every content needs to be related to a milestone or a collaboration team, but if it happens to be, I believe, highly specific to it, you can make that connection here. The same way I posted an update, I can upload a document or I can post an event. The form looks very, very similar. It's just with a few additional pieces of information. So for example, for events, I can specify a date and time zone, and so on. But the rest of the ways I describe content are very similar. I want to cover two more types of content. One of them is the so-called wants and haves area. This is the area that we'll probably end up developing in different directions. Its intention is to serve as a community pinboard where members can share resources. You might have additional icebreaker time, or you may have a new interesting data set that you believe it should be posted and is of high value, or you may want some help analyzing a new data or looking through algae bloom pictures. Posting something in wants and have is just a more specific request for collaborators, talents, opinions, answers, while an update is something that you want to share and others can comment on but don't necessarily need to. A want or a have is something you're specifically requesting feedback on, whether that's somebody wanting to use the resource or offering the resource that you need. Again, we might change how we title or use this area based on feedback from you. The website also has all the milestones from the 5-year plan. They're organized 3 different ways, just ways to find them: by collaboration team, by federal agency, or by original research area in the plan. We'll take a look at the CI milestones. This section is meant to be used also for reporting purposes when team leaders or agency leads need to compile a report of the status, the big picture status on milestones. But it also can be used to track to-do items assigned to different team members, what are called action items. So there's a collapsed view of just the milestones and an expanded view of milestones and actions. So this is an example here for that very first milestone, some outstanding action agreed by the team at a particular meeting and entered here by the IARPIC Secretariat, or sometimes it could be by a team lead. Every action has a due date and one or more people that are assigned to follow up on it. Those people will get an email notification as well as a website notification about 2 weeks before that action is due, just as a reminder. Right now, I'm looking at only the outstanding actions. I can switch to completed, and it will be a historical record of all the actions that have been completed, again, for reporting purposes. In the future, there will be a specific feature in this tab to create a printable or exportable report of all actions within a particular team or agency that can be presented for any types of any number of uses. As I mentioned, currently actions are maintained by IAPEX staff and team leaders. However, if members have input on a particular milestone, any member can post a comment. This is sort of the open space. Perhaps you believe there's something relevant that needs to be posted as an action that was missed after the meeting, or perhaps there's a mistake in the person assigned to it, or perhaps the status of the milestone hasn't been updated, and you can use the commentary section to make a note of that or add a discussion point of any sort. I want to show a few ways that the website tries to make content easy to find. I spend a fair amount of time talking about how you can contribute content and how you can describe it, because the website's success does depend on members posting updates or documents and so on. But we also want to make this website a repository, a well-organized, easy-to-search repository for the long term. The site has a global search, and I can search from anything from a person's name to a post title, video on CI's prediction, to a meeting or agenda, basically anything. I can search for the global search. Within every tab, we also have tab-specific search. So, for example, if I'm in the People tab and type in a name here, I will see just people that match that name. I should mention that every member of the website has a profile, and it's meant to give the rest of the team, the rest of the site, an introduction of who you are, what your interests are, as well as share some of the best ways to contact you. We have populated basic information that we already have, such as your email and maybe agency, but as far as it's pretty bare bones. We really hope that one of the first actions that you try as you receive your login is to update your profile a little bit. You can access that through clicking on your profile link from the account menu or by searching for your name. You can add a photo, update your positions. If you have several positions you'd like to list, update your contact information, add a short bio or a longer bio. It would be really useful to the community as a whole. If you post a document or any other content, it will be listed on the bottom of your profile. We see this as being useful in reducing the amount of emails you have to respond to distribute documents that you've already shared. So maybe you made a presentation during a team meeting, and normally 5 people email you to get a copy of that presentation. months after the meeting has happened. Well, if that presentation is posted here, people can find it before emailing you, or if they ask you, you can direct them straight to the website instead of having to attach it to an email. And the same is true not just presentations, but any resource that you normally have to distribute via email, you can put it on the website, give it a title on a topic that's relevant, and it becomes part of the archive for other members to search. I can, as I look through content, as I said, I can filter it by a number of criteria. I can filter by a specific team, documents for a specific team. I can filter by date, so show me items only posted within the last month, within the CI team, so I have basically several criteria at the same time. I can filter by the person who posted a piece of content. And again, as I mentioned, I can search for just any number of words that are part of the description or title of whatever was posted. So I try to make it very easy to find content. One important note about the website, as you do more, the website learns more about your interests. So for example, when I upload a file, I'll just contribute a spreadsheet here. I'll just make up something. As I describe what I'm posting in terms of the topic or the keyword, the website is keeping track of the fact that I use this topic on multiple items that I've contributed, which is going to be used to bubble up content related to this higher on my home page. So the more I use the website, the more it's going to develop a interest profile, if you will, a topic profile for me. And whenever I look at content, especially as we grow in terms of the numbers of items posted, it will be easier for me to make an email subscription based on my interest, or see my homepage feed here sorted not just by time that something was posted, but by my topics of interest. Right now, it's showing me all topics because it doesn't have enough information about my profile. But it's meant to learn as you go. As I mentioned, this is our first release. We are really hoping to collect feedback and commentary about what works on the site, what doesn't work, what you would like to perhaps add to it in terms of features. One easy way to do that is by clicking this orange bubble icon, and it will allow you to make a quick posting under the wants and haves with a specific topic that we monitor. So you can title something, documents are great, but would be great if I could post videos. Making that up because we can already post videos. We can, you can also email me or Sarah or Sandy with your feedback. what it also means in terms of the website is not everything is 100% perfect. So you may encounter a slight bugs here and there. We're working hard to correct those. But we really hope that you give it a go and let us know how it works. And we are just really hoping that it contributes to your operation as a team as well as an IARPIC member. Simplify some of the tasks that you do on a day-to-day basis. Makes them that much more efficient, that little bit more efficient. So you have more time to spend on the things that are more important than keeping track of documents or people's contact information. We hope that the website can help you do that, as well as increase your ability to find people that you might have not known in the field and find about projects or resources that are out there but you might have not known about. I wanted to summarize what I've shown you in a 5 slides here on the main features of the website and how I believe it will be useful. Finding out what others are up to. We hope that you use this website often. It is mobile optimized, so you can use it on desktop computers, iPhones, Androids, and so on. We hope that as people give it a little once-over on their profile in terms of contact information and titles, it does become the most complete address book, the more complete that any one person can maintain by everyone updating their own information. We do hope that the calendar feature simplifies your ability to find notes, presentations, call-in numbers, recordings of webinars, and so on. And that the document repository grows bigger and bigger with useful documents. And perhaps as membership grows, it will truly become a source where other problems can be solved, or at least connections made to share resources. As I mentioned, the hope of any online community like this is by every member contributing a little bit of what they know, that the website as a whole becomes sometimes more useful with every contribution. But this is our first release. We have a list of features we're working on, and your feedback can help us prioritize that list, add to that list, and so on as we improve and build upon this first start. That's all I have. I'd like to hear if indeed there's some questions or comments. I know we're getting fairly close to our allotted time for this topic of the agenda.
Hi, this is Walt Meyer at NASA. I joined a few minutes late. I had another meeting, but just, and maybe you mentioned it, do we have a timeline on when this is going to go live?
Great question. So you will be, the entire CI team will be receiving accounts, will be receiving an email with your account information today, and you can start using the website right away. It's in beta, meaning that some features might change, but no content will be lost. So it's sort of live for your team as of today. It's just that we haven't invited all the teams yet. We're doing so over the next 2 months, I believe, maybe a bit of a shorter time frame. So we'll probably remove the beta label within 2 months, even though we'll continue working on it, by which time we would have invited all the teams, but the functionality works and the content will not be lost or changed, or your password won't change after the 2 months. So for your intents and purposes, we hope to consider this ready for day-to-day use, with the caveat that some things are not perfect and we're fixing them. I'm not sure if the IRP Secretariat has a particular timeline set for sort of unveiling to the bigger community, but an important point I should mention is that any member of the website can invite another colleague to join the website. Those invitations will be reviewed by IRP Secretariat and staff and most likely approved. Those colleagues that you invite can then request to join a team, and again, after review of the criteria for belonging to a team, they can be added to that team. And the way I understand it, those invitations are not restricted to members of the federal family. They could be other people that are related to this work as well.
Okay, thanks. That's useful. Thanks.
Okay, it's Martin here. Does anybody else have any immediate comments about what they've just seen and heard? Because if not, we'll move on quickly to the other few agenda items.
So this is Renu Joseph calling. I've been talking. I was wondering if you post updates to the website, will and we have to go back and edit it. Is that possible, or would it go on as a new item each time?
Great question. Anything you post, the author of that post can go ahead and edit, and it will be the original update. It won't go as a new item every time unless you post a new update unrelated to the first one. So we'll keep to the original.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else? Okay, well, I'd just like to conclude the website tour by saying that when you receive your email message from Webitex with your login information to do your own tour of the website, please do that. I think it'll be time well spent, because Webitex and the IOPIC Secretariat will benefit from your feedback, and the website will improve from that. From my own experience, I think I can say with confidence that any comments you return will be dealt with pretty quickly, and you'll get a response, and things will move along. Based on my own tour of the website, and I've created my own profile, I've uploaded updates and documents, I've used the features and so on. I've come away feeling that it's a pretty well-designed site for encouraging our collaborations and communication, and I think it's going to serve the IOPIC teams and IOPIC itself very well. But it will depend on people using it and keeping it up to date and sharing information, etc. And I think it's designed well to do that. So again, take a tour, kick the tires, return any feedback, either using the Get Feedback tab on the website or by email to Billy and to Sarah and Sandy, and share your best ideas, thoughts, comments, and otherwise. So just moving on to the rest of the agenda, we have item 3 here as a summary of the recent team leaders meeting, which I think was a week ago today or 2 weeks ago today. 2 items of interest that were presented at that meeting. One is the Arctic Observing Assessment. Erica Key from the NSF Arctic Observation Network program and the team lead for our IARCtic observing team, she gave a description of the Arctic Observing Assessment, which I'm sure most of you have seen or heard of this via email or Arctic Info and CryoList announcements, with an initial call for recommendations for societally beneficial areas around which we might start to address the design of an Arctic observing network or Arctic observing system. The first round of those suggestions and comments has now been completed and analyzed, if you will, and the results are available online. And the link to where to find those and offer more comments or offer new suggestions has been circulated by email to you and also, again, by CryoList and Arctic Info. So I encourage you, if you have the time, take a look at those and offer further comments and suggestions to help with an exercise that has gone out under the umbrella of IARCtic and the Sustaining Arctic Observing Network of the Arctic Council and the International Arctic Science Committee. The other item discussed at the team leaders meeting was the IARCtic biennial report. And work has begun on this. There's been some initial work and planning on the scope and organization and structure of the report, which is something required of IARCtic every 2 years. This report has a broad audience, including the IARCtic principals, so the high poobahs of IARCtic, people way above our pay grades. Also Congress, the Arctic Research Commission, and it'll be a public document too, so it'll be available much more broadly. So Anjali Bamzai, who's on detail from, I think she's with the Atmosphere Geospace Sciences program in NSF. She's on detail to the Arctic section, and she's helping with getting the initial work on the biennial report off the ground. So currently, and again, you've probably seen Anjali's PowerPoint either at meetings or available by email. And a number of us have or are working on some draft contributions to that report that will be circulated more broadly to the collaboration teams as examples of what contributions might look like, and encourage other people to come up with drafts. And then somebody will then select what will actually go in the report. And the idea is to have, I think, an initial draft of the entire report ready sometime in mid-autumn, say October, November, because there is an IARCtic principals meeting scheduled, and this is not my, it's a peculiar way of describing it, but I guess it works. It's scheduled no earlier than November of this year. And I guess the idea is to have a draft in the hands of the principals for their meeting sometime after November. So some early work has been done on that, and 1 or 2 draft reports for different sections are beginning to circulate. So take a look at Anjali's PowerPoint with the suggested organization and structure of the report. And then if you have ideas for potential contributions to each of the 5 proposed thematic areas, I think they would be welcomed by the Secretariat and Anjali and Simon Stevenson. Any questions about the Arctic Observing Assessment or the IARPC Biennial Report? No? Okay. So finally, is Tom Wagner on the line? No. So I'll speak on Tom's behalf. I don't think he'll object. He and I and 1 or 2 others, Sarah Bowden, have been talking about a presentation or presentations on the use of unmanned aerial systems in the Arctic. NASA and NOAA had their joint MISAPEX, Marginalized Zone Observing and Processes experiment, in summer of 2013 and summer of 2012 in the Beaufort Sea, operating out of Oliktok Point on the North Slope of Alaska. And we've talked about somebody giving a brief on some of the scientific outcomes of that operation, sea ice science outcomes of that operation, a presentation about that to the sea ice group, and then also doing a webinar that's for a larger audience that talks about the operational experience of flying the Scan Eagles and the Data Hawks for scientific purposes. In this case, again, it was to study sea ice in the Beaufort Sea, but what the outcomes, what was learned about operating these UAS systems for scientific purposes in a complicated, challenging environment. So I don't know yet if the presentation on the scientific outcomes of that effort, a presentation for the sea ice team will be in August or September. There's been no decision made as to whether we'll take an August furlough and not have a sea ice team meeting in August, and we'll resume again in September. If people would like to have an August meeting, maintain the momentum, whatever, please let Sarah and Scott Harper and me know, and we can gladly schedule something. Otherwise, we'll pick up again in September. That concludes all the items on the agenda. Does anybody have any comments or suggestions they'd like to share before we conclude? No, well, it doesn't sound like it. So let me thank Billy again for giving the briefing on the IARPC Collaborations website, and let me reiterate my comment of encouragement to go and tour the website yourself once you get your login information from WebEtex and or Sarah, and go and create your own profile, add an update, a news item, add a document, update a milestone, whatever you want to do to kick the tires and test the website, and then return your comments and suggestions to WebEtex so that we can see the website improve even further. So if there's no more comments and suggestions, I'd like to thank you for joining the call today, and we'll get a message out via Sarah as to whether there will be an August team meeting or not. Otherwise, expect to get an announcement about our September meeting. Thanks, and goodbye, everyone.
Thanks, Martin. Bye. Thanks, Martin.